All right, let's do this before I get any more tired. It's Friday. It's just after 11 o'clock already. Wow. So let's just cover the indexes lightning, flash through as many stocks as we can get through in 10, 15 minutes or so. S&P, I mean, today's price action very subdued. Structure is a bullish pennant. So if we break below, then that negates the pennant, although I guess you could still argue it's a bull flag if we drop down here. But if we break above on early Monday, fully fill the teal gap and get up to say, yes, if we're up here on Monday, say 69.60 or so, then in theory we have a good chance at 7K uh, as early Tuesday. Again, you got the Fed, and the market will be inclined to go up into the Fed. So maybe we'll print 7K on Wednesday afternoon instead. Certainly, it's been an interesting week. Trump induced low 67.89, 69.34. It's quite a way up, right? Choppy, some wild swings along the way. But yep, that's a bullish pennant. What next? We'll skip the VIX. Something to say there. What do we want to? Do we want to end on gold and silver? Maybe. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll end with gold and silver. But in the meantime, we'll just jump to some stocks. So Apple, black candle play. Look, again, well, I try not to say it for every stock, but many of the stocks yesterday had black candles, and that they did play out, including the S&P, right? S&P had a black candle yesterday. The Russell had a black candle. So we did get the downside early Friday, which I was hoping for, and then we did have some degree of latter day recovery in the S&P. The Russell did not, though. Russell actually saw a mini spiral along with the transports in the afternoon. What else? Yeah, let's just scroll down a bit. We want to get the dates on the bloody chart so you can see. There we go. Archer Aviation 4%, just sporadic cooling. Agnico Eagle near historic high up 0.4%, impressive. American Eagle down 4%. You could argue it's just going to be testing the 50-day. First Majestic Silver, look at that. Another 5% in the 25s. It is approaching the all-time historic high from 2011, which I think was in the 26s, 2650 or so. So it's still not there yet. RSI 82, it is overbought. I mean, the last time it had this RSI, of course, that was back when the stock was 8. I mean, look at that. Look at these. The 5s and the 8s now look incredibly, they just look bizarre, right? Even 15 from October, 15 down to 10, and now it's up 150% in one, two, just under 3 months. 3 months, 150% up. Incredible run. But justified. Again, relative to silver, this should be $50, not 25. AMD. Earnings are due next week, I think. But don't quote me on that. Use a black candle. But still, bullish day. Amazon up 2%. Earnings are due, I think, February the 4th, a week after Apple. Barrick Mining, new historic high. So again, you know, you get these little sporadic, a day or two down, and off we go again. So 51. Look at this. $20 last summer. 20. Then of course this was the giant consolidation phase. This is magnificent textbook example of consolidation. See what we want to see, kind of what we want to see is like we want to see another one of these phases, right? That might last, a month, month and a half. So that's the best case, that we just kind of get stuck and we just trade sideways for a month or two and off we go again. Because eventually this should be 100 in my view. That assumes gold's at least at minimum 6,000, maybe 7 by year end. But this is $100 stock sooner or later. Boeing has earnings next week, I believe. Baba, just cooling back. Yeah, the financials kind of had struggled today, but again, the financials have been broken for a couple of weeks now, so it's just short-term broken. That's all it is. Recent earnings were good for Bank of America. Bitmine, don't care. Caterpillar, just cooling back, 3% down. Kamiko, a little chop, but it did end on a positive note, up 1.8%. Again, you got to wonder, 150, $200, maybe by late summer. Carnival up 0.2%. Yesterday's black candle did play out. You could argue that's a bear flag now. Cleveland Cliffs, bullish engulfing candle, 5%. Don't know why. Coinbase, yeah, not pretty for Coinbase. Down 2.8% to 216. I really should drag this orange gap to the right because basically this gap is just being filled. We should be flooring around here. It's actually technically not oversold yet. It's RSI 33, so we're getting close. So we should be flooring from here for Coinbase. Deckers have earnings next Thursday morning. Stock still down 1.5%, 99.98. I think it's still a valid buy. I would accept it's been choppy, especially around the 200-day here. But if it breaks up, I mean clearly if it breaks above 109, then it's open air to 125. So the cautious will chase above 109. But you could get an earnings gap just straight through 109 and say 115, 120. I lean bullish. Disney down almost 2%, but mostly it's a lot of chop. I think the recent 108 should hold. Just gonna flash through some of these. Endeavor Silver over 3.8%. That might be a new historic high. Forward cooling back with the main market. Freeport McMoran was upgraded by UBS from 60 to 70. My target is 90 to 100. Google, just a little bit of cooling. Home Depot up 0.7. Look at that. So another nice little spike from the 10 of May. 383, 400 is coming. Maybe next week. Heckler up another 1.7%. New strike high, 31.81. Look at this. Fives. Incredible, right? And this is with silver above 100. So if you think silver's going to be 200, what's Heckler worth then? Huh? 75? 100? There's people out there now publicly talking about silver 500. So if silver's 500, what's Heckler? 250? 300? Intel had a rough day, of course, on mixed earnings, down 17%. You see it's really burning off overbought conditions very quickly. It's almost back to RSI kind of neutral at 50. I will say volume was high, so there was definitely sellers coming in. Momentum has rolled over and will probably will turn negative either on Monday or Tuesday. So in theory, I think we're going to come down to the 50-day around $40. So Intel looks vulnerable to $40 either on Monday or Tuesday. JOBY down 4%. Bold will arguably be buying with a stopper at 200-day. JP Morgan, Thursday's black candle played out. 297 for 200 days should hold. KKR, again, financials were mostly down 1.5%, 2%. Kinder Morgan just cooling back after post-earnings gains. CRE lower the sector. Nuclear stock LEU down 2%. It's pretty representative of the sector. Lockheed. New multi-year high. We're just short of the 597s, which would be a new historic high. A little bit down. Nothing of significance, of course. Meta, we have a short-term floor from 600. And now it's a question of, can we break above here? I think the stock's a problem. The metaverse is an abject failure. I mean, there was one video today that talked about metaverse having lost $75 billion. Just complete, total failure. Nobody's using it. Dead concept. MP materials up 1.8%. Got to be bullish. Rare earths. Microsoft, yep. We also have this one looks to have solidified a floor from 438. Look at the intersecting 50 days. So soft target for next week is 480-ish. That's $15 up. That's about 3.5%. I think earnings, yeah, earnings are Wednesday evening. Should be fine. Short-term bullish. Micron, new historic high. Netflix. So Netflix goes up 3.1%, but still, you could argue that this is just a gap fill situation. I mean, is 81 a key low? Maybe. But you can see that just one update does not negate midterm trend. Even there where you had a couple of days up and then it rolled over again. There's nothing clear here. The really cautious are going to wait until we go back above the 50-day, which will be around, what, $90, late Feb. Nike. Yeah, Nike down 0.5%. It's a lot of chop. I still think we could get a bullish breakout above 70. If Decker's earnings on Thursday are good, Nike should be pushing for the 69s. Remember, the breakout threshold is 70. So watch Decker's on Thursday. Nvidia up 1.5%. Jensen's off to China to see if he can, I don't know, do something positive. I do expect the 212s to be taken out sooner or later. Look low, just cooling back with the sector. Nuclear stocks are a buy. Ondas, again, 3.5% down. Structure is a big bull flag. Don't care about that. Don't care about that one. Occidental up 2%, but broadly it's a chop fest. Schlumberger is outperforming. Pan American Silver, 4.5%, new historic high, 64.50 again. If you believe silver's 130 or higher, this should be $100. But again, you have to expect some occasional cooling waves. At some point, we should get something like this in October. We went from 42 to 32. That's a 25% drop. That little bit there, 25% down. And of course, it didn't take more than another 2 weeks to get back there. So 2 weeks down, 2 weeks up. Actually, no. It's more like 4, isn't it? Well, 2 weeks down there. Yeah. 2 weeks down, and then maybe, yeah, 4 up to get back to break even. But yeah, $100 midterm. Palantir, don't really care. PayPal, don't care. Just gonna keep scrolling until we get another one of interest. Red Cat down 7%, just drones cooling back. Can't go up every day. Rocket Lab up 1% again. Mostly just a bit of chop. Midterm bullish 200. SMR again, a lot of chop down 4%. 1977. I am bullish to $30, which looks realistic. Late Feb, early March. Target up 1.5% again. Goldman turned bearish on this a few days ago, and it got it down to here. But look at where we spiked yesterday from this big threshold, and now we're off and running again. Soft target 115 area, then 145. Tesla, a little bit of chop, That looks like it is. That's a hollow red reversal candle, bullish for Monday. Take two, Grand Theft Auto 6. Oh, I didn't notice this all day long. Look at this. Yesterday, spike from the 200 day. Kind of a shooting star candle. I liked it. Uh, Up 1.9% today. That candle gives confidence that this is a clear floor. So you have kind of a triple spike floor with the third spike being the longest, and then bam, up we go again, just like that. It's a great example of 200-day support. Again, Grand Theft Auto not coming out until November 19th. United Airlines down 2.5%, mostly just sector weakness. Uranium Energy cooling back. What's that? 6%? Yeah, just a 6% cooling. That's probably a new historic high yesterday, right? Two to go. United Health, 0.5%. So that's day 4 up. This is looking very good. Earnings are due next Tuesday. Soft target will be the 378 high from October. I think that could be passed next Tuesday or Wednesday. And then off we go. 472. It's on new historic high per percent. Very impressive. All right, I was going to end with silver and gold. I will cover silver and gold properly tomorrow. For now, I will just cover the weekly charts, which I did speak about in a space earlier. On a weekly chart, this is off the scale, insane. Um, Silver had a yeah. I thought this was going to happen. Stock charts has changed their numbers. Damn it, that's very annoying. So it looks like stock charts have like a provisional settlement, right? Around just after 4 o'clock when the market closes. But if you check the same chart, right, and the date is the 23rd, if you check the same chart like an hour later, the numbers all change. Because I tell you, this was it was like $10 lower earlier. It was 384. And it was 8.4%. So yeah, according to this, I need to change my bloody charts. But anyway, a weekly gain of 394, 8.6%, 49.89, incredible. Look at momentum just accelerating, massive acceleration upwards. Incredible. But that's, yeah, it's kind of annoying. I have to change my charts, my numbers in my post. And silver, $13 and a penny, 14.5%. According to stock charts, the official high today was 103.01. Oh my God. That's incredible. Wow. What can you say? Anyway, I'm supposed to keep this short because I'm tired. And now I realize I need to edit my gold and silver charts, which are all wrong. Well, they're marginally wrong, but I want to be precise. So anyway, I wish you a good Friday evening and a good weekend. I will do a proper gold and silver post and the miners on Saturday. And I'll do an A to Z of stocks on Sunday. And then before you know it, it'll be Monday morning again. How time flies. Good night.